Hello everyone, welcome to the Whistling Hermits One Card Spread series. Note that this video is divided into three parts. A short introduction, which we are doing right now. Part 1, which is a descriptive study of the card for the day. And Part 2, which is a reading from the Handbook of the Tarot of A.E. Waite from AGM Urania. If you want to navigate directly to any of the three parts mentioned, just click on their respective links at the timestamp provided in the description of this video. This video series is primarily intended for learning how to read the tarot. However, you can also use this as a card reading for the day. This is a timeless reading, so if you are watching this now, its message might be for you. In this series, we will be using the Giant Rider Waite Tarot deck. We will also be using the Handbook of the Tarot of A.E. Waite from AGM Urania. The first part of the video will be a descriptive study of a specific card in the tarot. We will describe what we see and the insights and feelings we gather from what we see. Now, the first part is characterized by spontaneity. We allow the cards to speak to us regardless of the generally accepted meaning of the card. By doing this, we hope to increase our intuitive capacity for reading the tarot cards. In the second part, we will be reading the description of the card taken from the booklet of the Tarot of A.E. Waite by AGM Urania. If you intend to use this as a timeless reading, you can randomly choose any card in the series that resonates with you. An alternative approach is to shuffle a Rider Waite Tarot deck and pick a card randomly. You can then choose the card in the video series that corresponds to the card you picked. Note that this series is a work in progress and it might take some time for the 78 cards to be completely read. So, without any further delay, let us proceed to the card for the day. Welcome to part 1 of our one card spread series, and our card for today is the Major Arcana card number 18, which is the Moon. The wonderful thing about the Moon is that when it is full, it casts a silvery light to everything around it and makes things a little bit clearer, but then again, there is still that darkness, that mystery. You only see up to a certain point, but you don't see everything. It's the same with this. I think this card is that moment in our life, symbolizes that moment in our life when your point of view or the way you see your life is a little bit obscured. You are in that point in life where there is a mystery, there is something that you cannot see. You can see up to a certain point, but the rest are still a mystery to you. There might be a certain point in your life right now when not everything is clear. You get to see some things, but still there are some questions in your mind regarding the situation. But the beautiful thing about that is that in the darkness, with the silvery light of the moon, there is the increased awareness of the presence of the divine, increased awareness of the presence of God. Here you see a lot of yods here in the sky that are scattered under the moon. So in a certain sense, in the moments of our life where some things are not very clear, we are reminded of the presence of the divine. Oftentimes it's like that. When things are going well, we tend to forget the presence of God or the divine in our life. But when things get difficult and things are not clear, we suddenly become reminded again of His presence, and we realize that we cannot depend on others, especially in those moments when you cannot depend on others. Then you find yourself becoming more dependent to the assistance of the divine. So somehow this is a moment in life wherein you are invited to let go and to let the divine, let go and to let God. And when you see the river sometimes symbolizes the living water that comes from the divine, and it fills our inner self. And it is also here in this card, when in the brightness of the moon, the crayfish suddenly goes out of the water. It's like as if in the moment of mystery, it triggers transformation wherein it increases our intuitive capacity. Sometimes trials in life makes us more sensitive, makes us more reflective to the situation that is happening, and it leads us into transformation that somehow for some people they start to develop a deeper capacity with their intuition. From here, I believe that this crayfish symbolizes messages coming from the inner self, coming from the spiritual, coming from the divine. You are able to be more sensitive to the messages that comes from deep within. The dog and the wolf also are sensitive creatures, just like the cat. They get to sense things that normal human beings do not sense immediately. So somehow for me also the dog and the wolf symbolizes increased intuition, increased sensitivity to what we often do not see. So for me, this card is a card of transformation, a card of conversion also, because one suddenly becomes more aware of the divine presence. It is also a card of developing intuition, a card when you are becoming more sensitive to your inner world. It is a card that invites us to listen more to our inner self. So this is what I see from this card. There are more things that you can reflect on it. So I invite you in your private time to spend more time to listen to the card, allow the card to speak to you as you go through your journey of learning more about the tarot. For those who are presently who are reading this card as their card for today, maybe this is a moment for you. Maybe this card speaks. If this card resonates with you, then maybe this is a moment for you. You are undergoing a certain moment in your life right now, a certain transformation, a certain moment wherein you are invited to be more aware of the infinite. At a certain moment in your life, a point in your life wherein you are invited to listen more to your inner self. Maybe you are undergoing a process right now where you have an opportunity to increase more your intuitive capacity. Well, that's it for now. Let us go to part 2. We are now in part 2 of our one card spread series, and our card for today is the Major Arcana card number 8, the Moon. Let us read now from the booklet of the Tarot of A.E. Waite from AGM, Urania. The moon represents the wilderness, the uncertain journey between the calm openness of the star and the bright clarity of the sun. Under the moon's reflected light, psychic abilities awaken, but also fear and strange feelings. For the first time, we see no people in the card, only animals, a dog and a wolf howling or yelping at the strange light, and a crayfish half emerging from agitated water. Here, in unknown territory, our animal selves take over. We cannot suppress the wild emotions, but only travel through them. In the tarot, as prophecy, the moon signifies the dangerous time between the end of one world structure and the beginning of another. On the emotional level, it can indicate the strange state when something powerful has ended and you find yourself thrown back on your instincts. The Moon card calls forth other qualities as well: powerful dreams, visions, and the power of the feminine. Divinatory meanings: wildness, uncharted territory, strong dreams, psychic abilities. Warning, advice: coming to the end of a difficult time, the need to accept your wild animal self. Action: listen to your dreams, your animal instincts. Do not try to analyze what is happening. Well, that concludes part 2 of our one card spread series on the moon. Until next time, have a great day.